Quick, drop a like in the next 5 seconds if you wish you had some more V-Bucks on your account. With Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 3 seeing a bit of an unexpected delay that actually pushed it back to starting in June as opposed to roughly around a month or plus earlier, we've actually seen quite a few things actually surface within the storyline, even at the agency, and also just a bunch of different things around the map that has actually made this season leading up to Chapter 2 Season 3 very, very interesting. But before we cover all that, if you guys have ever wanted a gift from me, make sure you guys have dropped a like on this video, hit that subscribe button with its notifications turned on, and make sure you guys comment down below your Epic Games gamer tag, as that would help me know who exactly to gift. And also a massive shout out to all you guys that still use code ShuckTheCG in the Fortnite item shop, as I am an Epic partner. It does help me out quite a bit. So not wasting any time, we have to kind of jump into this and see what exactly is going to be happening within Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 3. One of the first things we have to go over is ultimately what is going to be happening with the Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 3 map. As you guys know, we have a whole bunch of stuff going around on the map right now, and there is the No Sweat Insurance that has had different signs popping up all over the place. No Sweat Insurance has actually also been a part of the OG map way back in Chapter 1, where they actually had one of the only surviving buildings from Tilted Towers way back when Tilted was actually destroyed, if you guys actually remember all the way back to that. So No Sweat Insurance has of course made its way back into Chapter 2, and there's been a bunch of different signs popping up around the map, and all of them do happen to showcase different forms of water, and whether it be with Meow Skulls having the floaties on, and whether it be a shark, or there being a house with an inner tube on it you guys have been able to see up on screen, there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on with that, and it's actually leading us to believe that the actual map is going to get flooded. And this guy by the name of Merle actually came up with a sort of map concept that would actually showcase what the map would look like overhead if it happened to actually be flooded, which actually does look incredibly interesting. And you guys will see that they're compared to the actual previous version of the map, or what we actually have right now, this is an incredibly small version of the map, and there is a ton of water. So something naturally that a lot of people have been actually looking at is, okay, so if where the map is actually going to get flooded, how are we actually going to be able to traverse the map? And if you guys remember back to the Fortnite Travis Scott event during the concert when you were actually underwater, there seemed to be more or less new animations for swimming. And so if that actually, would play into this, how the map is actually going to flood and the whole doomsday device thing is going to be happening, I mean, it would be incredibly awesome to see there actually be a swimming mechanic or some sort of, sea type of vehicles to traverse around the map. We already have helicopters which help us through the air, but it would actually be really cool to see something like maybe a shark, as we do happen to have a shark glider, so that'd definitely be really cool to see it be something you could actually use in game, or even maybe something like a speedboat that'd be very plentiful around the map, because there would be a lot of water areas. Something that would be a really cool new feature that actually would be added to the game would be phone booths around the map to be able to change your skin mid-game. I don't exactly know how much of a point there would actually be to that, but I know you can actually do that within the Party Royale mode already, so that's actually really awesome. But this would actually be incorporated into the normal BR match, which would be pretty elite. I know you guys can actually go and do all the different sort of agent disguises and be able to obviously get all the different weapons from all the different locations, but this would actually allow you to change skins mid-game to go right straight to your locker. And I'm not gonna lie, that'd be a pretty cool little thing to be able to do, especially if you're trying to fend off some people and they know exactly what skin you have. Maybe you go into one of those booths, you happen to change into it, and then boom, you're actually able to then escape maybe those people and they don't think, it's the same person. That'd actually be kind of a cool little thing to do. Something that's also actually surfaced is the fact that there could be a female Black Knight, and I'm not entirely sure where this happened to surface from, but if you guys remember all the way back to Chapter 1, I believe this was around Season 2, because Season 3 we had the John Wick, which was like the huge massive explosion of Fortnite's popularity way back in Season 2 when Fortnite was still pretty OG. I mean, if you played back then, you were definitely considered an OG anyways, but back then we had Season 2 tier 70, which happened to be the Black Knight, and that was the top tier skin you were able to get. There was no 100 tiers way back then, and so if we get a female Black Knight, that would be absolutely incredible. You guys know we have a variation of a Knight skin that's a female actually in the shop already that I do happen to own in my locker. So with that being said, if we were able to get a female Black Knight, whether that be introduced in the battle pass or it just be introduced as an item shop skin, I think that'd definitely be a welcome addition to Fortnite by any means. So something that is incredibly interesting is that if you guys actually go over to Midas's desk, there's actually a picture of a girl that is actually on his desk, and it's really not exactly clear if it's Midas's daughter or if it's going to be his wife, but Midas actually does also look incredibly young, and he's not exactly sure if he's old enough to even have a daughter. What it really could be is that it could be a just completely alternate dimension version of Midas, as Fortnite always really likes to do some sort of altered dimensional stuff where you see different variations of skins in male and female sort of versions, and that's why we happen to get both of those in the game. They're just a huge fan of, twisting and warping stuff throughout different dimensions, as you guys have definitely seen through, the black hole event, and also what actually kind of was very, very interesting through the Travis Scott event, especially at the very end when we did happen to have the little butterfly from the butterfly effect event way back. It's also been leaked that there will be a new Meowskull skin where he's actually entirely a robot, so not a ghost version or a shadow version, entirely a robot version of Meowskulls, what actually would be pretty dope. I'm not sure about you guys, but I think Meowskulls is a pretty dope skin, and he's actually one of my more favorite ones that's come out in the Battle Pass as of recent in the past few seasons. He's definitely one of the more memorable characters in my opinion. Let me know down in the comment section below, what is the most memorable character to you out of any of the other Battle Passes? And there also, speaking of skins, could be a blend of Technique and Dark Voyager, and I'm not gonna lie, Fortnite, does like to revisit a lot of different skins, and we've definitely had two different versions of the Technique and Dark Voyager already, so I probably would say that it most likely would not happen in the Battle Pass. I would hope it wouldn't happen in the Battle Pass. Maybe just something like an item shop would definitely be really cool, but I don't think we need to have the Technique skin show up in our Battle Pass again. I know this has definitely been making its rounds around on YouTube, actually thinking about what would be the top tier 100 Battle Pass skin for Chapter 2 Season 3, and I think the top Battle Pass skin is actually going to be Aquaman, and specifically when we relate back to what I talked about earlier in the video, with it actually being a map that is actually covered in water, Aquaman would be a very fitting sort of character to actually throw in here. And as we've also had different collaborations with, Marvel, they've racked up quite a sort of like a tally with actually getting, a bunch of different Marvel stuff in the game. So maybe a little bit of time for DC to kind of come back and, join in, because, they've had Batman, they've had Catwoman and Harley Quinn. So would they actually be able to get, Aquaman in as a Battle Pass skin? I think that would be a pretty cool addition to the game, and it would really make a lot of sense based on how the map is supposed to turn out, and hopefully that the Doomsday Device actually does do that, and all these leaks actually do come through, because that would make a massive change in the way how Fortnite actually plays. I'm sure this is something that's more apparent to some rather than others, as we do happen to have, the Shadow and Ghost Agency factions. When you actually take a look at the Shadow and the Ghost, it does seem like that Shadow is actually going to win the entire agency. So if Shadow is actually going to win the agency, this could be very interesting in how the rest of the stuff actually does turn out, especially leading into the new season. But I do think is also really interesting is the fact that there could be a customizable umbrella, as we did get our Maya character this season, which is basically your own creative character in the Fortnite locker section. So if we were able to get a customizable umbrella, that could be really super awesome. People could go ahead and make some really awesome umbrella combinations. Let me know in the comment section below, would you guys love to see customizable umbrellas? I think I definitely would. And to finish off everything here is that there could also be some environmental fire damage, there could be a flare gun, and something there will be somehow involving fireflies. So I'm not exactly sure, where all this stuff is going to be coming from, how fireflies could possibly play into it, but if you guys have any information, definitely let me know down in the comment section below, as I'd love to see all your guys' thoughts and opinions so far, and especially about everything I've talked about within this video. With that being said, thank you guys so much for coming through. My name is Chuck, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Just remember to look out, don't be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.